Welcome to Exploring the Mystical Side of Life with your host, Linda Lang.
Hi, this is Linda Lang from ThoughtChange.com. Once again, we are exploring the mystical side of life. Today, I have spiritual teacher and author, Susan Shumsky, and she's going to share her wisdom today on the root chakra and connecting with the earth. So welcome, Susan.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here with you today, Linda.
In my own practice, I see so many people that want to work with the upper chakras because they want to develop their intuition. They want the spiritual gifts that come from the upper chakras. But these bottom three chakras are really, really important. What kind of incentive would you give people to help them start working on their root?
Well, the fact is that many who are watching today are energy sponges. Energy sponge means a highly sensitive person who absorbs energy as a sponge absorbs water. And as they go through their day, they feel that energies around them in their environment, people around them, even people that they're connecting with online and on Zoom and so on, that they're like parasites. They're like vampires that are just sucking them dry. And they feel at the end of the day, all they can do is just lie down and collapse because it's so exhausting and draining to feel all these energies. It's wonderful to be an empathic, sensitive person. That's a great gift. It's fantastic to be psychic. It's fantastic to be able to feel and empathize with other people. But it's also really important to learn how to close off your aura and not be affected unduly or negatively by the vibrations around you. Even if you're trying to heal someone, help someone, you don't have to take on their energies in order to heal, help, or read for some other person. You can maintain your integrity, and a key to that is working with the lower chakras, such as the root chakra.
And I think there's a lot of people who pick up energy that don't even know they're doing it.
That's right. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of people who are thinking thoughts that are not their own. I've had that experience myself.
So how do you start tuning in and becoming aware of what's yours and what's not?
The important thing is to maintain the integrity of your energy field all the time so that you don't pick up on these energies.
And working with that root really helps.
Absolutely. And there are many different little techniques that you can use how to maintain the integrity of your field.
Absolutely. And also that root chakra is really good for helping release some of this stuff we pick up.
You're right. Absolutely. The root chakra has to do with survival issues. It has to do with security. It has to do with feeling protected, feeling safe. When you work with that chakra, when that chakra is healthy, then you're feeling that sense of well-being. You're feeling less fear. You're feeling more of a sense of, I'm at home. That's very important if you want to overcome this oversensitivity.
You make a really good point, Susan. In my travels, I've come across many people that don't necessarily feel at home here on Earth, in the Earth plane. And so working with the root chakra would actually help them to be more comfortable in their life here on Earth.
That's very true. Working with the root chakra will help you to feel more at ease, help you to feel more secure, help you to feel grounded. And when you feel grounded, you can be at home on this earth, as well as you can be in the world, but not of the world. You're living in this world in a very comfortable way, yet your connection to spirit is not broken. You are connected to spirit 24/7, and at the same time being very effective in your everyday life. And techniques like meditation, techniques of grounding, affirmation, prayer, all of these are ways to help you to stay in that connected state, being grounded in spirit.
I would love to learn some of your tips, and I know the listeners would be very interested as well, Susan.
Well, one of the most powerful things you can do is use the following affirmation, and to use it anytime you feel uncomfortable, anytime you feel off kilter, anytime you feel that you're out of your body and your energy field is not centered, that the aura is maybe up there or over there, the aura is not even surrounding your body correctly. So that would be one symptom. Another symptom would just be feeling off, just feeling something's wrong. Immediately doing this affirmation will bring you right back to center. And here's how it goes. I am in control. I am one with God. I am the only authority in my life. I am divinely protected by the light of my being. I close off my aura and body of light to the lower astral levels of mind, and I open to the spiritual world. Thank you, God, and so it is. Now, anytime you say an affirmation, I just want to say this real quick. Anytime you say an affirmation, it's really a good idea to pretend as if your higher self is saying that affirmation through you. In other words, it's not your ego. You're not saying it from the level of ego. You're saying it from the level of the higher self. And that gives more power to your affirmations.
Oh, that's a beautiful suggestion, actually. I'm wondering, Susan, if it has to be vocalized.
Very important for it to be vocalized. And here's why. If you just think affirmations in your mind, you're staying in the mental world. You're not bringing it out into the physical world. When you say the affirmations verbally with power, strength, and confidence, you're bringing it right out onto the physical plane, and it manifests in the physical plane. So that's why it's prayer and affirmation. And even during meditation, when you're calling upon divine beings to help you and so on, verbalize it, say it audibly.
Susan, can the root chakra actually become damaged?
Damaged. That's an interesting question. Anything that is so-called damaged can be repaired, reversed, changed. That's the great thing. The chakras are in the subtle realm. They're not even in the physical plane. Because of that, they respond very well to suggestions, to words, to thoughts, to ideas, to affirmations, to attitudes. So we can affect change on the subtle plane through things like meditation, affirmation, and prayer.
You know, our chakras are moving all the time, right? So there might be certain circumstances where it would be more open and the energy flowing, depending on our thoughts or our perspectives in the moment.
Absolutely. Lord Buddha once said, in fact, this is the first verse of the first chapter of the Dhammapada, which is probably the most important scripture in Buddhism. Buddha says, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. And that's a stunning statement, actually. I'm going to repeat it. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. And then he goes on to say, if a person speaks or acts with a pure thought, then happiness follows him or her. If a person speaks or acts with an impure thought, then unhappiness follows him or her. And what he's saying that we're creating our destiny moment by moment with every thought, every word, and every deed. And in fact, Jesus said the same thing. He said, you are not defiled by what you put into your mouth. You're defiled by what comes out of your mouth. So that's why speaking words, positive words, that's what brings effective change on every level: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. So if you are going around all day saying and thinking, I'm so unhappy, I'm so poor, I'm so overweight, I'm so destitute, I'm so exhausted. If you say these things, I mean, just feel the vibration of what that does when you're speaking like that. Whereas if you go around saying such things as, I am joyous, I am happy, I am fulfilled, I am wealthy, I am healthy, I am my perfect size and weight, I am joy, I am in fulfillment. These kinds of affirmations, they're going to manifest. Actually, any affirmation, if you invoke the mighty I am presence by using the words I am, that is what will manifest. Whatever you say after you use the words I am will manifest. So it's really important what you think and what you say. Now, we don't have all that much control over the thoughts that are just randomly going through our minds, although we can deal with that too, and I can give you a technique for that. But what comes out of our mouth and the actions we do, we have tremendous control over that. We can change our words, our speech patterns. We can change the things that we do in our life to bring about positive, effective change.
I've studied words and language and the energy that's held within the words, and it's amazing to me how negatively we can be communicating without even actually realizing it.
Words can heal and words can kill, and everything in between. Very important what we say.
Absolutely. You talked about weight. I've heard a number of spiritually focused people say that they were overweight because it's their body's way of keeping them more grounded.
Well, it's not really the body's way of doing anything. It is all in our mind. The mind is what's creating everything, as I said. And often our mind might create a situation where we feel we need to be padded from the vibrations around us because we're so overly sensitive. And so the padding comes as kind of like a protective shield against the environment. But in fact, that padding is not going to help. What helps is for you to maintain integrity in your energy field itself by using, for example, the affirmation that I taught you. And that will really, really help you to feel that you're protected, that you're secure, that you're safe, and that all is well.
I suppose it would help if you would change your mind so that you didn't believe you needed
That's
that
correct.
padding.
Yeah, now I mentioned I was going to give you a little tip for negative thoughts. So if you notice that you're having negative thoughts at any time, I'm going to teach you. It's really, really simple. It's a very simple affirmation you can use. And you'd think it's so simple, it couldn't possibly work. But in fact, it really works, and it's so powerful. All you need to do is just say something very simple like, I now release from my mind all negative thoughts, feelings, and emotions that no longer serve me. I now let go of all thoughts of, and then you just close your eyes and you can just say, verbalize the thoughts that you want to heal. And then when you're done with that, making the list of those thoughts that are coming up for you that are negative thoughts, then you would say, and they are gone. They are lifted into the light of divine love and truth. I am now filled with powerful, positive, new thoughts of, and then you just say the opposite of what you said before. For example, if you say unworthiness, now you say self-esteem or self-worth. If you said anger, now you say peace. Just try it out. You'll find that your mood will instantly change and you will immediately feel better. You know, our moods can change. They're very malleable, and they can change instantly when we speak words that are positive.
You know what I really like about your affirmation, Susan, is that You are essentially claiming your space, your energy system, as your own sovereign space, that you are the master of that space, and therefore you can decree what happens in that space.
And that's the truth. We are the master of our destiny.
And
We
so
have
many
created it.
people, right? So many people don't get that, right?
They don't. Even though they might say it, even though they might mouth it, even though they might declare, yeah, I'm the master. The reality is we really are the master. There's nothing that ever happens to you. You only happen to yourself.
I have a smile on my face because I had this conversation with my son the other day. He was getting a little frustrated with me, and I proceeded to tell him that he was frustrating himself through me, and he was like, "What?" And I said, "Well, you're choosing this perception of your experience. It really had nothing to do with me. It's just a way for him to experience his frustration." And he was like, "I don't know, Mom,
I think every parent needs to learn that from you.
our children are such great teachers, aren't they?"
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Susan, I also wonder what you think about the kind of standard visualization for the root chakra of, growing roots and connecting deep into the earth. Is that the most effective way you've found?
That's a good visualization, to imagine that roots are growing from your tailbone down into the earth and going deep into the earth, planted into the earth. That's a good visualization. But even taking a walk outside and feeling yourself on the planet, feeling nature around you, is a great way to feel grounded and to feel one with our environment, feel one with Mother Nature.
Mindfulness is really good too. Like if you can feel your bottom on your chair, it helps really keep you focused inside your body.
Yes, I agree with that.
Wonderful.
In my book, Earth Energy Meditations, a little plug for my book. In this book, there are dozens and dozens. The entire book is filled with meditations, affirmations, prayers, and mantras to help you to stay grounded, to help you to be connected to the root chakra and connected thereby to Mother Nature and to Mother Earth.
And I think it's, a really pivotal time for humanity, this giant transformation that the whole world seems to be going through. I think a little extra groundedness is probably going to serve us really well.
Oh, definitely we need it. People are so addicted to social media and they're living in their cell phones. I mean, really, let's get out and take a bicycle ride. Let's do something physical instead of being so cerebral. And that will help us to stay more connected to the earth.
We have a body, we might as well use it, right?
Definitely.
Susan, is there anything else you would like to share with us today?
Sure. I'd love for people to learn another technique, which would be to cut the binding ties, cutting ties with people that are vampires and parasites, or with any energies that are unduly affecting you. In fact, you can cut binding ties with any person, place, thing, organization, situation, circumstance, memory, experience, or addiction that is controlling or influencing you adversely. And cutting those binding ties will help you in all of your relationships. In fact, I guarantee that if you cut the binding ties with people that you live with and with people that you work with and people that you connect with online, if you cut those ties, you will have better, more loving, more intimate, more harmonious relationships with those people at work and at home. If you cut the ties daily, and here's how you can do that. You just simply say, I now call upon the Holy Spirit to cut any and all psychic ties between myself and Linda Lang, These psychic ties are now lovingly cut, 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 lifted, loved, healed, dissolved, released, and let go into the light of divine love and truth. Thank you, God, and so it is. And once you do an affirmation like that, you feel so free. You feel like you're once again in integrity, once again centered in your body. Once again, you feel that you are at home and safe.
We have an exercise like that in my Huna shamanic training. It's called Ho'oponopono, the forgiveness exercise.
Love it.
We cut the cords, and the reason we cut the cords, there doesn't even have to be something wrong or some discomfort in that relationship. But what it does essentially is the next time you interact, meet, or think about that person, you are seeing them for themselves, not for any old perceptions or any old baggage you might have around that person. So it is a really powerful tool to start cutting those cords regularly.
I say on a daily basis, cut the cords.
Absolutely. And for any of the listeners who are not sure if they're picking up things, one of the ways that really sticks out in my mind from when I was first starting on my spiritual path is if I would say talk to a friend on the phone, a family member, or meet with them, and if I felt really good before the conversation, and then I felt kind of yucky or energetically dirty or heavy, if I felt heavy afterwards, I knew that I had taken some energy from them and needed to clear.
Absolutely. It's really important to pay attention to how energies in your environment are affecting you and to clear them. Otherwise, like I said, you might be walking around all day with thoughts that are not even your own thoughts.
Yeah, making choices that aren't even your own choices.
That too, yeah.
We are so much more than our physical bodies.
We have many layers to our gross and subtle energy field. We have, in fact, 5 layers called Panchakosha in India. We have this physical body. Then we have the Pranamaya Kosha, which is our life force energy body. And then we have the Manomaya Kosha, which is our mental emotional body. Then we have the Vijnanamaya Kosha, which is our intellect ego body. And we have the causal body, which is called Anandamaya Kosha. And these are the 5 main layers. There are other layers as well, our higher self, our God body. But those are the main bodies. And so I love to describe this one thing just to make people understand that we're not just this body. People who have near-death experiences, they often describe that when they're having the near-death experience, they leave their body, they go up onto the ceiling, and they're watching the attendants, they're watching the physicians resuscitating them. Who or what is seeing the body? It's certainly not your own eyes that are seeing your own body. That indicates that our senses are not in our bodies. You can see, hear, taste, smell when you're up on the ceiling and your body is down there. So those senses are actually in your subtle body. They're not in your gross physical body. They're actually in your Manomaya Kosha, in your mental body.
I definitely know that there is more to life than just physical, but that doesn't mean that the physical isn't really important while we're here.
Absolutely.
Susan, it was delightful chatting with you today. Would you like to share your contact information or your website?
Absolutely. drsusan.org, that's my website, drsusan.org. And also, very important, divinetravels.com. And that's where you can find out about the wonderful conferences at sea that'll be starting again in 2022. These are awesome experiences.
Wonderful. Thank you, Susan. Thanks for being my guest this week.
And thank you, Linda. It's been a great pleasure.
And Thank you for listening to this week's edition of Exploring the Mystical Side of Life. You will find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Come visit me at thoughtchange.com. You can pick up your copy of Learning to Listen. Check out my program, Alchemy from the Inside Out, if you'd like to bring a little more self-awareness, healing, and spiritual exploration into your life. That's it for this week. Bye for now.